Well, it's a little later in the morning. I've seemed to have the brew under control in the fermenter. It's not doing anything crazy right now. The water's staying there and it's just not doing anything. I'm just concerned that the temperature's way too high, and I looked up online to see how good those strip temperature readers were, and apparently they're reasonably accurate, only about a degree out, so it should be fairly accurate to what's going on. Just about to head down to the shops, so I'm a bit breathy, not too bad though. I've been a lot worse, so I'm going to give the bike ride a go. I tried to actually get the cheap gin at through Dan Murphy's at Smithfield, and normally you can pick it up and you get it for around $40. Well, two things. One is they put the price up to close to $41, and secondly, they're out of stock, so you can't pick it up there at the moment anyway. So that's no good. So hopefully Liquorland has got the gin in stock, and I just realised I didn't put my bag on my back. What an idiot. So I have to open up the door and grab it. Well, I'm getting a little better. Last time I did that, I was actually on the bike not halfway to the place, but I was down the road. So at least I did it before I actually started my journey. I suppose that's something. Just sling it on my back here, and we'll get moving. Other thing is I got a message back from NAB Trade about my shares, the MRM shares. I find it really annoying when people don't read people's emails, because they told me that that company had paid off people who owned the shares back in May, who had less than $500 worth of shares in total. Well, I've got over 1,000, so I don't qualify for that. So I wish the person at NAB Trade who'd actually sent me that email had bothered to read my email, because I made it quite clear that I had more shares than that. But anyway, typical. Anyway, we're off to the shops. I'll take it nice and easy. I'll actually do a time check, although I always forget to do it when I arrive. It's 9:30 on the dot, so we'll say that's what it is, and see how long it takes. It took me 18 minutes to get here. A bit sweaty, bit of a headwind. Always seems to be a headwind at my age. Life is a headwind. I just got to get my shopping list out, which I did this master today and got myself a shopping list, and load myself up at Coles, and then hopefully there'll be Beefeater waiting for me at Liquorland. Oh, got my shopping done. It's quite a heavy load. Got a lot of... I got onions and bloody... I got the gin. I had plenty of gin, so that's good. And I'd splurged on cocktail tomatoes. They're much nicer than the other ones. They got tomatoes on special for $2.50, but they look really... there's no colour in them. I'm just waiting for my own to mature. I should be able to harvest mine the next week or two, I would hope. Hopefully, maybe longer, but certainly got plenty of them in the growing cycle, so fingers crossed I'll have my own tomatoes fairly soon, which would be nice. Much better than store-bought, but the cocktail ones are about the best. I think they're hydroponically grown. Anyway, I'll just do a time test. See how long it takes me to get back. 10:10 at the moment, and yes, I've got a bit of weight here, so we'll see how we go. Okay, I did take a timing on the return leg this time. 18 minutes, but it was probably closer to 17 because I took the time before I actually had to fiddle around with my bike lock. So if anything, the return leg fully loaded might be slightly faster than the outgoing leg, so that's not bad. I'm buggered, in case you were wondering. Oh, this exercise stuff sucks. Hi everyone, it's Thursday. I'm just doing my washing, so thought I'd shoot this video out in the patio just before I I drag out all my stuff to dry. Had an eventful 24 hours. I've had a few little hassles that I've had to overcome. I think I've discovered why my breeding was stuffed up the previous week, because it happened to me again yesterday. I did a bit of gardening. I went out and got the mulch, which is in a big pile down in the front of the house, and it does because it's been sitting there for so long. It's quite dusty now, and when I put it into the cart, it caused a plume of dust. And I'd say about 3 to 4 hours later, my breathing started to degenerate quite a bit. It's better than it was. It was worse probably around dinner time yesterday, between 5 and say 7 o'clock. And it got a little better when I got back, when I had to go to sleep, and was able to sleep a bit. Just took a bit of Ventolin, and I was fine. I sort of suspected that's what it must have been, because it just seemed fairly obvious. So basically, if I handle that mulch again, I'm going to have to wear a mask. So all I'd done was actually just transferred a bit to where I'm growing some beans, or I should say the native snow peas. I just wanted to give them a bit of protection from the sun. Today's actually supposed to be thunderstorms, although at the moment it's quite sunny, and I haven't done a full watering because of that. I might do one this afternoon, but it looks like everything did get a bit of a sprinkle of moisture, and I have been watering every day. And the plants seem to be in pretty good nick overall, so things are going okay in that respect. So I'm glad I've worked out why my breathing was affected. I think it's fairly obvious now, so that's the good news. So I just got to be very careful handling that stuff. I hate wearing masks, but I can do it for a few minutes. It's nothing like lockdown masks where you've got to wear the bloody things for multiple hours. That would really suck. So I had to actually contact eBay about a pair of shorts I had. The fly wasn't properly attached to the actual shorts themselves. There's a bit of a bit that needed to be sewn in, and the seller actually came up with a good solution in a way. She said, look, get someone to fix it for you, and we'll take it off the price of the actual shorts. Trouble is, in Australia, to get anything fixed, even something as minor like that, who knows what's going to cost you. If it costs more than $10, it may not be worth doing. It's only a $25 pair of shorts after all. But I was thinking of maybe even asking neighbours to see if anybody's got a sewing machine, and if they want to do it, I'll give them some cash, because they'll take it off the price of the actual shorts that I paid for on eBay. So that's not a bad solution. The ideal solution will be to get it done overseas, because that's much cheaper. You can get people to repair stuff. Like, I've got a pair of sandals that need repairing, and when I finally get back to either Thailand or Vietnam, I'm hoping to get to Thailand maybe in the next few months, but I don't think there's much chance of it, because even though the Thai government has stated that it appears as if you're going to be able to drink at bars on the December the 1st, and they're going to open up the border to 10 countries that have got their COVID under control, which should include Australia, but definitely includes the US and UK, which I find extraordinary ahead of Australia. That's crazy. But you can't book a ticket there at the moment, and that's the other problem, of course. If you can book a ticket, you'll be paying through the nose to fly there, because there won't be cheap options. So, it'll take a while before, say, Jetstar has international flights again, I guess. They'd probably all be Qantas at this stage, and that means it's going to cost a fair bit. So I don't know if it's worth it. I mean, I don't want to really be here in January if I can avoid it, because it's part of summer, and if I can avoid any of summer in Cairns, it's a good thing. And that will be my long-term plan here, to always spend a couple of months in summer or overseas if possible. The best time to be in Chiang Mai is actually December and January, before they do the burn-offs, where the air quality goes down the gurgler, and that's the last thing I want. It's also the coolest time of the year to be there, because it's in the northern part of Thailand, so it's an ideal time to go there. It's usually their peak tourist time, but I don't think many people are going to have the wherewithal to get there that quickly. It won't be a flood of tourists, it'll be a trickle in my opinion. That's my prediction anyway. Other little hassles I had, the NAB, I contacted NAB and I've contacted Computershare about my MRM shares, which I went on to the Computershare site. They're a horrible company to deal with, I've got to tell you. They've got a terrible online site, and their customer service is not really great. So I've sent them a message. I don't like the chances. My understanding from NAB is that because I had 4,500 shares in MRM, they shouldn't have sold them because it's not a small holding. Small holding would be anything less than, say, about 1,600 shares. So I don't know why they've gone. It's a total mystery to me. And so I've sent a message both to NAB Trade and to Computershare, who register the shares on my behalf. I haven't received any money for them, so the whole thing's really fishy. So I want to get this sorted because it's, like I say, the shares are worth over $1,000 to me. And if they did sell them, and I can't do anything about it, they sold them at a low price. They're up to 40 cents a share now. They were down to 30 at that time. So it really pisses me off because as a shareholder, one of the things you want as a shareholder is control over when you buy and sell shares. So the whole thing sucks. I just think it's outrageous. If they want to do that, they should make it discretionary upon the person holding the shares where they want to dispose of them. Not that they shouldn't be allowed to just do that. It's disgraceful. Anyway, luckily it's only a small holding that I have in them. Smaller since I bought them because they've dropped in price by 2/3. But the principle's still there, and I mean, it could happen to someone can't really happen to someone holding a lot of shares, but I'm holding more than they said anyway. What NAB Trade said. Now, maybe NAB Trade aren't right, but they did send me the notification through ASX, so it looked as though that's what it was. So I've got no idea. And the thing is, no one's communicated to me. It pisses me off. The other thing is, the thing, I've got a new t-shirt I can't wait to show you. It's actually related to my previous video regarding the sports reporter in America at the NASCAR championships, trying to convince us that the crowd wasn't chanting "you know what" about Biden. So I'm going to be getting a t-shirt with her slogan. So that'll be good. I'll wear that in the future videos. But I bought that on eBay a couple of days ago. It cost me $25. So they got it printed up pretty quickly. I guess you can do it straight away these days. You've got the basic t-shirt. It's just a matter of printing something. It's probably a very fast process. So that was good. I had another Coles delivery today, and they totally botched it. Two things about this Coles delivery is 3 items that I ordered. They sent me a message yesterday saying I couldn't get any of them because they weren't in stock. And the one I wanted the most was condensed milk because I'm down to 2 cans of condensed milk for my coffee. So they said they weren't going to supply me with any of these items. Today it turns up and they supply me with 6 cans of not condensed milk but evaporated milk, and that's a different product. So I had to ring up their customer service, presumably in Melbourne, and I told the girl that they'd sent the wrong item, and then she's telling me what I had to do, which was basically take the cans to Westcourt shopping centre, which is the other side of the city. My local place is Smithfield, which I will be going to tomorrow. But she said, I have to do this. And I'm thinking, well, that is lousy customer service. You don't say that to a customer, especially when you as a company have stuffed up, because that is not a substitute item. It's a different item, and they shouldn't have included it in the order. And they said they weren't going to include it in the order with the email they sent me the previous day. So it's a total stuff up. So she went and talked to a supervisor. They agreed to give me a $9 credit for the cost of that item. So I guess I could try to flog off these cans to someone else. I said, why can't I just take it to the Smithfield Coles, just give it to them at their service desk? She said, no, you had to go to caught. I mean, how ridiculous is that? Corporate culture really does suck. And I'm a shareholder in Coles, and I'll tell you, I'm not impressed. That's real waste, because it's just absurd that they can't take those back. And they're worth more than $9 because they're actually the carnation variety. So the ones I actually had ordered were generic, and they were on special as well. So they were usually $1.60 a can. They dropped them to $1.50, and then they send me the wrong product. So they need to improve their customer service, and they need to do something about their supply chains. But it's not just Coles and Atlasgate, it's everybody. Everybody must know by now that there's empty shelves everywhere, and it's not going to get any better in the short term, because container ships are waiting in docks where they should be basically moving from one point to another. Looks like the Chinese economy is going to be in real strife with a couple of these major real estate companies going down the gurgler, which is going to affect people in China big time, because most of their wealth is tied up in real estate. It's a huge bubble, and it's about to burst. And there will be consequences for us, of course, because, you know, in spite of that, as much as they hate Australia, they still need our coal and they need our iron ore. They've snubbed us with the coal, and now they're buddies freezing their asses off because they need more coal to run power stations. They're having power shortages. They're really stuffed. But then again, so is America. America's totally stuffed. Biden is doing a great job of destroying the American economy. And the supply chains over there are totally stuffed, and yet he wants to have this $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill. Well, actually, that's not the infrastructure. That's the other bill. The infrastructure one's $1.5 billion, but none of it's real infrastructure anyway. So just the guys, even people in his own party can't stand him. I mean, it's just. It's an embarrassment having someone like that as the head of your country. I mean, for whatever faults Morrison might have, he stands up as a major statesman compared to Biden. Biden is just an embarrassment. That's what he is. But he's a dangerous embarrassment. He's not making the decisions anyway. He's a puppet. They're just taking the strings away. That's the only difference. Yeah, America and China, they're both in trouble, and of course Australia being a trading nation, we're going to be affected. So I don't like the future of this country in the medium term. Anyway, we're going to be in for a rocky road, I think. So nice weather here, beautiful living up here in North Queensland. Probably one of the best places in the world, but I still would like to get away if I could, just to avoid a bit of the hot weather in summer. But I can't complain overall. Got a few niggles with certain things, as I mentioned, but yeah, life could be worse, I guess. So yeah, so that's basically my little update for Thursday. If you enjoyed this particular video, please give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Feel free to comment, and please consider subscribing. I've noticed that actually a subscriber count has been going up, surprisingly, and may even hit the magic 700. Who knows? Anything's possible in this crazy world.